In this video, we will fulfill the goal of creating a pod running a blockchain Docker image when a CRD a resource is created. So when we create the CRD, our operator will get called, and we'll have piece of Python code that creates a pod. Let's switch to our IDE. Okay, so I'm gonna quit from our K9s. You know, actually, I'm gonna make this K9s, so we can watch and look at the pods, at all of them. Let's create a new one, which we're gonna. There you go. This is where we will be running our operator. Should just go to cop. There you go. And here we'll just it will be our CLI. And this way we can quickly switch and see what's going on. Okay, so when we run our operator, nothing happens, right? And let me just clear the log. So KC, if I delete Juno chain, nothing happens. If I apply Juno chain, nothing happens. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is create some code. Let's just make something trivial. Okay, let's just build something very trivial in our operator, which we'll do. We'll define a function, create a chain function, and it will accept body. And yeah, sure. Okay, don't need this. By the way, I'm using Copilot, and it's in some cases it provides me with very bad suggestions. In some cases, it just provides me with suggestions that I already written in the past. I may some of them may look weird. So not always Copilot is not always right. So keep that in mind. Up. I also need import logging. What else do I need? I think that's all I need, right? And I need annotation. There you go, chain. Yep. So we basically have a callback. We don't have to. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to start with Python operator, because this is trivial. It hides a lot of complexity. The COP framework, it just hides a lot of complexity. You just implement the important bits. There is a problem with this kind of approach, which is you may forget to handle a lot of errors, but that's a separate. We are not writing production operator right now. So let's actually redeploy it. I don't think it does a hot reload. It doesn't. So let's reload it. There you go. So now let me delete the chain. So you see, it's already starting. It's aware of the chain resource. And now if we apply, should see that we got our message. So this line of code was created. And we even see that there is that a handler was called. It patched the status. It's patching something. tells us that something has changed. This is actually very good debug information because sometimes you may notice that your code is not being called, but there were some changes. So probably your selection, somewhere here you can select add filters. Probably your filters do not match what's being deployed. Okay, so we got called. We got called when the chain was created. All right, so the next step is really to create a pod. Okay, so let's do a pod. Equals pod. Yep, something like this. Let's actually import arrays. And is it arrays pod? Yeah. So what's cool about arrays that we can just enable, yep, kind pod, yep, metadata. Okay. And here we have very interesting thing, which is this body is basically a definition of our chain. So we can grab its name. And we'll also need to grab one more thing, which is the image. And this will be in spec. There you go. And in spec, we'll need, we'll have containers. Yeah. Which is an array. And the first container will have its name. Sure, let's call it chain. And we will need basically an image. Spec image. Yes, that's exactly what we want. So now we have a pod. When a new chain is created, we'll create a pod. Okay, so let's restart it. Cool. Let's delete our pod and let's apply it. Okay, we didn't get any errors. Okay. Actually, there's a mistake. Not a mistake, but we need to create a pod. Yes, create a pod. Okay, cool. Cancel it. Rerun it. And we're going to delete our resource chain, and now we're going to apply it. There you go. Did we get any errors? There you go. We have some errors. Okie dokie. Ah, has now type of pods. Oh. What do we have here? Object. That pod. Yes. Cool. I'm going to leave it explicit so it's obvious that it's coming from chaos. Okay. Again, delete and apply. It looks like it made call to the Kubernetes API, and there you go. We got a pod. And you can see here what actually happened. So it made a post to namespace default pods to create a pod, and it's creating the pod. Let's actually take a look at it. So it has one container, which is chain, and it's failing. It's failing not because the blockchain is failing, but it's something at the Kubernetes level. So let's take a look. And that's because we don't have command specified. Okay, so let's specify command. And this command will be, yeah, do not start. Cool. Okay. We're going to restart it. And run it again. Let's see what's going on now. Oh, I put it in the wrong place. There you go. K9s. Restart the operator. And again, delete it. Apply it. Okay. There you go. We have a new container. Now we have an error, which is better because it means that it's now, when you look at the scribe, it did start, and now we have our code, our blockchain binary running. It's just complaining there's some configuration missing. Okay, cool. So now we can see that we're actually creating a pod when a new resource gets created. And we need to add more configuration. One thing that I would like to fix right away is when I delete the resource, you see this pod, it's not being deleted. So what we will do, we'll define a resource, which is chain. So chain, yes, new class. Class will be chain, and the version will be, what's our version? Pivotal. Yep, namespace true. Yes, this is correct. So we have a chain. And now what we can do is, when we start here, we can go chain, we can create a body, start making it a little bit more chain.spec name, and this will be chain.spec.name, no, image. And let's actually also make an improvement here. And let's actually use something like this. Let's actually add image. Instead of image, we're going to add binary. Binary, which is string. This binary can be configured for each chain. So Juno D. And then in our operator code, we can just change here chain spec binary. Okay, so now we updated the schema. So let me actually delete this pod. I'm going to delete this chain. I will also delete this chain CRD. Actually, I'm going to apply it because we added new field, this binary. And now if I need to stop and start the operator. And now if I apply the chain, chain, should still work. But this time it will get the binary. Oh, did it actually fail? Okay, we have an error. And our error is that it doesn't have big name. Chain spec. Yep. So actually this is metadata. Metadata. These properties just match your CRD. So there's no rocket science there. Let's deploy it. And now I can delete chain and apply it again. And now we should see it running. There you go. And it's failing the same way. So now, you know, we can create a new resource. Let's call it Cosmos, which would say, you know, Gaia D. And this will be Cos Gaia with some other version. Now we can deploy two chains, and we're gonna have 2 pods. Actually, why don't we do that? There's a great resource. There's a great resource, which is called Polkachu. PK testnet. Let's do Noble chain. Okay, so this is the version. This is the version. This is Noble D. Okay, easy way to find out. I'm gonna just run this image really quickly. With Noble. Sear Highliner. Let me see what kind of image we need to pull. There we go. There's no RC3, but there's RC4. Okay, RC4. Okay, RC4. Shell. It's Noble D, so it's also Noble D. All right, so now let's actually rename this, and this is separate chain, Noble. And now we can apply it. I can just apply Noble D. Chain is configured. Let's check. Yeah, so we should get a pod for Noble D. And if we do not get it, the same name, Noble. All right, let's delete it. There you go. So the problem was we had the same name, but now, see, they are failing the same way. So now, by using these CRDs, we are making deployment of chains much easier. Well, our deployments are not working yet correctly, but we'll take care of it very soon. Okay, one more thing that I would like to fix before we move on is what's it? Is it pod set owner reference? Yeah, there you go. So right now, well, I think it's set owner. There you go. Now, when we create the pod, this pod, if you describe it, it doesn't have any owner doesn't have any owner reference. So if, let's say, I'm going to delete this noble chain, the spot stays around because there's no owner reference. In this case, the node chain, say CRD, is the owner. So now, if we set the owner, and I restart the code and we redeploy them, and I'm going to delete this pod because they are orphan. You see we don't have any chains. Let's go back to pods. Now I'm going to apply, let's say, noble. I see noble chain pod, and if I delete it now, this pod should go away. Unless we made a mistake. Let's take a look. Do we have owner here? Yeah, there's owner reference. So it should be deleted. And why it's not being deleted? Is there something wrong with this chain? This chain is basically chain. There you go. We have a problem here. Pivotal. There's a typo. Okay. Let's do it again. I'm going to delete this pod. Restart the operator. And I'm going to apply it again. So you should get it. Should get a pod. And now if we delete it, that pod should be gone. There you go. It goes away. So now we have owner references, which makes our cleanup easier. Every time we delete a chain resource, the pods or any other resources that would be related to it will go away. All right, I think that's enough for one video. I will stop here, and we can move forward in the next video.